Hello all, and welcome to this evening's beer review, which I am calling Snafu Beer Review, because lots of little minor annoyances that just kind of pile up to go and make a day that's not too pleasant. But hey, that's why there's beer. Beer cures all the ailments and unhappiness in the world. And what are we reviewing today? Well, this is sort of a preview to a couple of beers that it was requested that I review. They were given to me, and they were given to me for my birthday, and my dad asked me to go and review them on my channel, even though I said, well, you know, I make a review almost every week, but I very rarely upload. So he said, that's okay, just if you can't do it, do it. So, but I want to go and explore the Voodoo Ranger series from New Belgium, which is, I guess, their IPA series. They're generally very heavy IPAs, and I haven't really explored them because New Belgium didn't start distributing into Hawaii long after a lot of other craft breweries did. So Voodoo Ranger, you know, I had already kind of shifted into doing mostly local beer reviews by the time that Voodoo Ranger was being fully distributed. That much of the New Belgium line was being fully distributed here in Hawaii. Moreover, I was kind of burnt out on IPAs for a long while, and I'm starting to enjoy them again and explore them again. So this is the base of the series, as it were, I suppose. Just the plain IPA, which is in the West Coast style, and it's 7.0 ABV, and I'm not sure of the IBUs, but the hopping is Mosaic and Amarillo. So those of you interested in that, now you know. So I'm going to be pouring this into the large one because you can see this is one of those mega cans. Tall boys, as it were. Very tall boy. So, West Coast style. After this is done, I have some nice chicken vindaloo to go and eat. Yes, it's funny. I love chicken vindaloo. Irony. I know the irony being that I own pet chickens. They love eating chicken too. So, pours a beautiful golden orange clear, not overly carbonated, with a thick, fluffy, off-white head. Head is redolent of dankness, florals, hints of that ozone smell that I smell sometimes in certain IPAs. And underneath that, a base of biscuity malts, ready to biscuity malts. Some citrus there, but not overly juicy. And maybe a hint of pine needle too, just a hint. Let's go to the sipping, shall we? Perfect. This is a perfect West Coast finish, mid to finish in my opinion. Gives you that bitterness, but doesn't go an edge into like almost tongue-scorchingly bitter. Remains there. Just that goes to bitterness on your tongue. Those alpha oils. Front is slightly sweet, just ever so slightly. That continues into the mid palate. zest flavors in that mid palate really arise and continue into the finish. Lots of resiny notes in that long finish. Declines. Floral and slightly, very subtle, almost minty or spearmint sort of notes in the effervescent part of my taste buds up here. Very drinkable for a 7.0. Dangerously drinkable in that it doesn't feel overly heavy on the palate. If you didn't know the ABV on this, it could really sneak up on you because you would guess maybe about 8% less than it actually is. You know, it'd be like a 6.0 or 6.2 rather than a 7.0. What is it, babies? Potato. Go away. I'm going to give you more food in just a little bit. Okay, and this is the name potato. I know, I have strange names for my chicken. Not much complexity. The only thing I could say that bothers me a little bit is just a tad bit too sweet in the front. Just pull it back a notch. And probably I'd like a little bit more, more scent notes on the top there. Bit muted on the nose. But other than that, it's nice to go and drink something that, like Torpedo, is a real exemplar of, the West Coast style that the craft beer revolution explosion of the late 90s, early 2000s was sort of founded on. Maybe a little bit later than that. This is slightly sweeter and slightly less hoppy than Torpedo. The Sierra Nevada Torpedo. The scent and hop profile tastes different as well, obviously, because I believe Sierra Nevada Citra hops are the front and center, and like I said, with this one, this was Mosaic and Amarillo. Just a hair more carbonation too. I think actually just a hair more carbonation would fix both the sweetness and bitterness problems, because it would go and clean the palate a little bit more in the front. Well, but I digress. Reaching the 10-minute mark. I'm not monetized. I don't really care if I reach a 10-minute mark. I just don't like to go on and on about. I'm not sure what the word would be. Not pedestrian, because this is not a pedestrian beer, but commonplace beers. It hits the spot. It's nice to go back to older styles that kind of get dismissed now or placed aside, and it's kind of funny. People used to complain about a lot of the older English styles, milds and whatnot, being supersided. Milds and lagers being supersided by IPAs. Now the West Coast IPA has kind of become, it's still a flagship for a lot of craft breweries, but it's kind of becoming passé. And in all due time, all things will come around. Who knows? Maybe light lagers, God forbid, will go back into fashion at some point. If you're an IPA drinker, give us a chance. It's a pretty decent West Coast style one. Your mileage may vary, however, as with all these beer reviews. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. I got myself a chicken vindaloo to go and eat. Cheers.